This is the city, if I may coin a phrase. This is the city, teeming inferno of thrills, of bright lights. These are its people, restless, carefree pleasure seekers. These are the entertained. These are the entertainers. As in any Babylonian spectacle, there are the ones who are neither entertainers nor entertained. These are the joy killers. They are quickly forgotten. The bright lights are my business. These bright lights. I'm Joe Fletcher, fire inspector. As an inspector for my department, with automatic legal powers under the Act, as an assistant to the provincial fire marshal, I investigate fire under two circumstances, before and after. After is least pleasant and most educational.
Is that all you can do, take pictures? I suppose you've been questioning that poor beggar Bill Riely in the hospital. Well, where were you last night? Playing pinochle in the fire hall? What's that for? Your scrapbook? Show your kid what a great fireman you are? Look, ask me some questions. I'll tell you what I saw. I woke up and saw Bill Riely, my neighbor, running around his yard with his clothes on fire, screaming, "My family's in there, my family's gone." Run around his yard screaming. And where were you?
So you're mad?
You bet your life I'm mad. Bill Riely in the hospital there, and his 6 kids and their mother dead in their beds. My neighbors. It might have happened to me. And where were you guys?
That's good. Be mad. Be good and mad. I hope you stay good and mad all your life. So mad that if it ever happens to you, you won't panic around flailing at an explosion while your wife and kids smother upstairs. You'll get them out of the house. So mad you won't go running around the yard screaming. You'll call the fire department. Now, have you got one of those wood stoves in your house, too?
Wood stove? Yeah.
Stay good and mad all your life. So mad you'll never light that stove with kerosene. Monday, March 3rd, 8:30 a.m. Reported for work as usual, impatient to get through paperwork, waiting in the office. Letter to write. Requesting hardware dealer to remove rubbish dangerous to establishment with inflammable supplies. Letter to rooming house owner requesting elimination of electrical fire hazard. Both inspected previous day. An official order to be served on owner of dilapidated garage filled with junk and open to children. Ignores requests, so remove in 10 days or go to court. Fire department. 9:05 a.m. Answered alarm. Smoke emerging from second-story apartment at 365 Center Street. Alarm turned in by waiter of restaurant downstairs after finding apartment locked and no response to his calls.
Oh, please.
Response time of fire department after notification, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Occupant of the apartment, Mrs. V.W. Mitchell, found sleeping in smoldering bed, middle of the afternoon. Woman removed from apartment and burning mattress extinguished. How does it look?
Nothing to it.
Investigation led us to suspect alcohol may have been present. Further indications suggested the possibility that tobacco may have been a complicating factor. Having noted these indications and that the fire had not assumed serious proportions thanks to the promptness of the waiter, I withdrew to question the woman.
I can't understand it. I can't imagine how it happened.
Mrs. Mitchell? My name is Fletcher, fire inspector. You have no idea how the fire started, Mrs. Mitchell?
No, I can't imagine. What a terrible thing. I woke up and there were the firemen. That's all I know. How could a thing like that happen?
Do you enjoy smoking, Mrs. Mitchell?
Smoking? You mean cigarettes? Yes, I smoke a little.
You find tobacco fairly pleasant. How about alcoholic stimulants? You enjoy the occasional drink?
What do you mean, do I enjoy it? What if I do?
I just thought it might add to the intensity of your pleasure next time to remember that the cigarette you smoke in bed may be your last. March 21st, 1:30 p.m. Digested lunch and made regular survey of neighborhood advertising, seeking hints of trouble casting its shadow before.
Give me the deputy, please. Oh, Chief? Martinson got an injured knee. I took him over to the general. I think that's the best place. Right.
Anything bad?
Well, I just blasted truck. They were draining gas out of it at Wilkes Garage.
Gas go?
Yeah, so did the truck.
That's always nice.
Well, we've been getting away with it too easy. We're in for one or two good ones. Go along for a couple of days with nothing to report. Boy, we're going to get a bang one of these days.
Hey, you want your car painted?
Why?
Your car painted. $38, any size, any color.
How about that? What's the address?
No address. Phone number. Hey, what did Stevenson's want for that old Buick of yours?
110. Now, here I thought they were reputable.
They're breaking the law somewhere. You can't paint a car for $38 nowadays. Hello? You painting cars? Well, I got a car I want painted. I guess I better come over and see you. Where are you? 22 Willow. Right? Residential district. My jurisdiction.
Surprising what you pick out of those ads, Joe.
Yeah. And the surprise will be all his. This would be a quick one. 1:45. I located 22 Willow in a row of comfortable frame houses, squatting like fat, innocent ducks in an arsenal. This joker's operation was hidden away at the back of his house. A group of workmen of foreign origin were sprinkling cars, getting them ready for the paint, working for 50 cents an hour because they were new to the country.
Anything wrong?
Well, that's for you to say, mister. What's your name?
Johnson. Bob Johnson.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
It could be. I meet a lot of people in my business. Why?
I'll tell you, Mr. Johnson. You're going to pay off these workmen. Get that car painting equipment on a truck and out of these premises in exactly 20 minutes from now.
Oh, hold on. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the law, Mr. Johnson. I'm talking about the people that live in that house of yours and in the houses all around.
What's with you? I run a legitimate business
You're
here.
running a first-rate fire hazard. Oh, there's only one way you can paint a car for $38, Mr. Johnson, and that's exactly the way you're doing it. Hiding away in a residential street, using underpaid workers and dangerous equipment. Now, take a look at this. You don't put up a no smoking sign, but you're spraying cars here, filling that wooden shack with fine particles of explosive materials. Now, all you need for this business to close down in a hurry is for a light bulb to break, a motor to turn over, or some happy hooligan to come marching in here with a cigarette. Now, I'm going to my car and call the police. And if you're not following my instructions with the time to get here, you can take the consequences.
Carl, drop that and bring the truck around.
While Bob Johnson set about liquidating his little atomic bomb business, I radioed for immediate police assistance, just in case of argument, and just because this wasn't a thing I felt like arguing about. Well, that must be him now.
Look, Inspector, I didn't know I was breaking the law.
Mr. Johnson, any experienced tradesman who can do the job you advertise you can do knows he's working with explosive materials.
You sure don't mind running the little guy out of business, do you?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Johnson. If you don't mind taking business away from legitimate operators who spend thousands of dollars on establishment and investment to safeguard the lives of their employees and the public, if you don't mind filling a wooden shack with explosive lacquer vapors, surrounded by private homes where women and children are entitled to feel some degree of safety, why, no, Mr. Johnson, I don't mind running you out of business. "20 minutes exactly. Thanks, Sergeant.
Is that stuff really so dangerous?
It depends.
Depends on what?
On whether it blows." 2 days later, call to Acme Paint and Varnish Manufacturing Company, 42 Water Street. Cause of fire, explosion. Cause of explosion, static electricity igniting vapors from solvent used in paint manufacture. Fire-resistant building, excellent safety precautions. Fire brought under control without damage to 10,000 gallons of inflammable liquids. Loss, only $5,000. Only 2 dead. Duties of fire inspector: to regularly inspect all licensed premises, printing shop or pub. March 26th, 11 a.m., visited printery at 402 Main Street.
Where's the fire?
He's wondering how you dish the type.
What's that?
What do you use? Benzene, turpoline?
What do you know about printing?
Oh, I know you've got to wash it before you set it back in the frame. I know you've got a can of something or other under the bench.
Benzene. Now, what's wrong with it?
Nothing wrong with it. Excellent benzene. Happy in your work?
Is anybody?
Well, maybe you won't mind losing it.
What do you mean?
Well, this can heats up. The liquid will vaporize. If the liquid vaporizes, it'll cause pressure. If there's enough pressure, it'll explode. No more business.
Well, what do you want me to do? Use dirty type?
Now, get a can with a safety valve. It allows the vapor to dissipate harmlessly. And you'll be stuck with your job. Hey, not bad. How would you charge me for some personal letterheads?
$30, if you want the envelopes.
Your business is worth protecting. Remember, a safety can with a valve.
Hey, Bert. Bert, come up here. I want you to go to the hardware store.
Battling neighbors are a mixed evil. One of the few ways a fire inspector is invited to examine a private dwelling is through the complaints of bad neighbors thinking of ways to plague one another. March 29th, 3 p.m. Mrs. Ivor Selesky of 72 Wilmec Road and Mrs. Wilton Alderson of 74 Wilmec Road requested fire department to examine chimney common to their semi-detached. Fire department obliged with pleasure and gratification at public cooperation.
So, now what do you say?
Well,
Smoke it blows in my basement. Always my basement is full of smoke.
It's my basement that the smoke blows into when she burns her trash in the fireplace. Isn't it illegal to burn trash in the fireplace?
Illegal yet? Always she is burning that pine stuff in her fireplace. Always my basement is full of pine stink.
ladies, there's a little damage up there. This weather's got it pretty badly.
The weather? So she's blaming it on the weather now.
No, there's a backdraft blowing smoke into both your basements, ladies.
So this I know. So my brother Joseph will fix it for only $14. I told you, only $14.
But my husband has a friend who will only fix it for $8. That's only $4 each.
An amateur should fix my chimney.
Ladies, how long has this argument been going on?
Since last, 8 months.
8 months? Oh, such a story. Only since my brother Joseph came to town, and that's 6 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days.
Ladies, are you ladies fond of music?
Music?
Oh, look, there's nothing serious here, but that chimney's badly weathered, and it needs cleaning. I thought you ladies might like to buy a couple of violins and play sonatas at each other while you wait for your homes to burn down. One won't go without the other one, you know. They're only semi-detached.
That's why I called you.
So what do we do?
Okay, I'll settle it. We'll make it official. You've got 7 days in which to fix your chimney.
Well, if it's the law.
We'll make it the law. You know, I get pretty upset when I have to pick a blackened corpse from a basement. I'll fix that chimney. April 1st, All Fool's Day. Department called to rooming house fire, 62 Edgar Drive. 50-year-old house, original mansion of Joseph Pleasance, city mayor in 1906. Original wiring system designed to serve one family. Same wiring system serving 9 family units. 9 radios, 9 TV sets, 9 electric kettles. None of which invented in 1906. Cause of fire? Night worker coming off shift. Plugged in electric kettle at breakfast time and went to bathroom. Damage, house destroyed, woman and small son killed by gases. 2 firemen injured, landlady's cat missing, presumed dead. April 2nd, 3 p.m. Smoke emerging from familiar second-story apartment at 365 Center Street. Alarm turned in by waiter of restaurant downstairs after finding apartment locked and no response to his calls.
I think I'm gonna make it a move.
Can I get you a glass of water?
No, thanks. It's all right.
All right. I drank too much. I wouldn't have fallen asleep, but I drank too much. You don't know how it is. I'm so lonely. My husband died, you know.
When was that?
2 years ago.
I can't stand being alone.
Well, then maybe you should marry again.
Yeah, I think of it. I know it's my own fault. I drink too much. Guess nobody wants a woman that drinks too much.
Then maybe you should quit smoking.
It's not that.
I wouldn't have fallen asleep. It's not that. Really, it isn't.
Mrs. Mitchell, last year in this province there were 8,743 fires caused by smokers. The next largest cause, electrical wiring, resulted only in 2,500.
It's all right. It's just when I'm feeling so lonesome.
Mrs. Mitchell, hotel operators spend thousands of dollars printing little signs which say, "Please don't smoke in bed." Now, you may laugh all you like at those little signs, but I'll tell you one thing.
Yes?
When a man goes looking for a wife, he seldom does his shopping in a morgue. April 2nd, 4 p.m. Feeling irritable following the Pleasance House disaster the day before. Investigating doll advertisement in Neighborhood Weekly. Proprietor was operating backshed industry on Residential Street. Interviewed him, gave him to understand in no uncertain terms that he was a fire hazard. Informed him that I could take him for violation of almost all the laws of the book, including Section 20 of the Fire Marshal's Act, as maintaining a particularly dangerous fire hazard. One little match. Proprietor claimed ignorance of the law, but complied when I notified him his business must be put off the street because of the residential bylaw. Nobody loves a fire inspector, but when there's a fire and they count the bodies, the survivors love him least of all. Unusual relationship of two similar cases. April 5th. Call to investigate explosion and fire at 42 Wentworth Crescent. House demolished. 1 dead. 2 in hospital. Elaborate detective work revealed housewife, to clean drapes, used gasoline in automatic washer.
Read about it now. All about gas in the washing machine. Woman blasted. Read it special. All about the explosion now.
Second similar case. 1 week later, after massive propaganda in the press about gas in washer case. A delivery boy returned to a service station with a message for his employer. Fire department?
Look, this is Walter Macklin of Macklin's Garage. You better send somebody over to the Maple Court Apartments.
Yes, Mr. Macklin.
My boy just now took a gallon of gasoline in a proper can to Mrs. Jasper Winters at number 16 Maple Court Apartments.
Gasoline? Was there something wrong?
You figure it out. Mrs. Winters said she didn't want to pay for the can, that she'd give it back to him. He went down to the apartment basement with her, and she gave it back to him all right.
What did she do with the gas?
My boy says she poured it in the washing machine.
Number 16, Maple Court Apartments. Thank you, Mr. Macklin. Art, get a Mrs. Jasper Winters on the telephone. Number 16, Maple Court Apartments. And tell her to keep away from her washer until I get there. Go. Get the master switch, cut the current.
Well...
Mrs. Winters,
Yeah.
is your washing machine operating at this moment?
Why, no, but...
It's turned off?
Well, certainly.
Oh, good. Now, may I ask why your washing machine isn't operating at this moment?
Well, I had to make a phone call.
Well, that's the best phone call you've ever made in your life. Will you show me where that washer is?
What is all this?
I'll tell you what it is. We're going to get that machine and the gasoline in it outside of this apartment block.
Now, really, sir, just one moment.
Just one moment, you, please. Didn't you read your newspapers this past week? Didn't you see all the stories about this house on Wentworth Crescent being blown to pieces by gasoline in a washing machine?
Oh,
But what?
I forgot. I wanted to wash my drapes.
Yes. It was drapes on Wentworth Crescent. Come with me, please. April 15th. Inspected remnants of N.P. Miller House. Bodies found, tentatively identified as Peter 6, Wendy 9, Walter 4. Personally removed from blackened tub what is believed to have been Mildred 2. Noted in bottom of black tub, white porcelain outline of body. No, I guess I'm not hungry. Just get me a cup of coffee.
Sure.
Inspector Fletcher. I thought you might like to know. I have some news for you. I've had them ever since the last time. Haven't touched one. Given up smoking. All yours. You were awfully tough with me. Thanks.
Somewhere in this province, at this very instant, someone's intelligence is on trial. Someone with a cluttered yard, a dirty basement, a warning received about faulty electrical wiring. Someone with a home and family. Someone who reads fire prevention propaganda. At that trial, fire is the judge and jury. If you're guilty, you may burn.
This week's Perspective was directed by Tom Farley. Written by George Salverson. Photography Donald Wilder. Sound recording Claude Pelletier. Editor Donald Ginsberg. Production assistant Blanche Markle. Location manager Hugh O'Connor. Sound editor Kathleen Shannon. Special sound Joan Edward. Perspective is a National Film Board of Canada production. Produced by Julian Biggs.